What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. And before you all get excited about, wow, he's made a lot of progress, this is actually my creative test world. I wanted to test out a few things because I've been tempted to, well, not really tempted to, I've been actually planning on removing the pogo and making a more sustainable drilling platform system. However, I wasn't really sure how I wanted to do that because I didn't want to rely on hydrogen like the pogo did. So my thought originally was basically a wheel system where you had a projector that would weld up cross-beam things as it went down, and then the tires would fit in those grooves and you could basically drive the thing up and down. But the more I got thinking about that and researching how welders and projectors work, I actually don't need this anymore. I found that one of the things that I was reading was that the projectors and welders will only work if the projection is tied to the same grid, and then the idea of putting beams going down along the wall from the frame of the base wouldn't really be viable at that point. So then my thought was pistons, but then the problem with pistons was how do I basically get it to continue extending and stuff, because it won't, like you can't like put a block in between the pistons kind of thing, like so I was messing around with different things. I've also been talking to, I believe it was Dragoon Loon on my Discord server, and we'd been discussing the idea of kind of this type of thing of using timer blocks and merge blocks and things to extend and retract and whatnot and expand your drilling stuff. And his ideas were interesting in that they probably would work, but it was a bit bigger in scale than I felt I needed. Oh, I actually had the minimum distance set for that. Poop. And then as I was watching his video, because he made a video about it, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, that's cool, and it was starting to click, and I was trying to figure out how do I apply this to my situation. And then, kid you not, I had pulled up Space Engineers, I was going to jump in my creative world and test it out, and in the background, there was a video from Keen on Space Engineers that showed this red, like, dual ring system that was basically leapfrogging with connectors, welders, and pistons. And I was like, hold up, that looks great. Like, how would I do that, right? So I found the video file that is in the games folders and stuff, and then I started watching it from different angles, like skimming through it and stuff, and this is what I've come up with so far. I think the mechanical part will work. The part I don't know about is I don't know whether or not I don't know if I can do this with just timer block logic. I mean, I know they do, but I'm a little rusty on the timer block logic. So essentially, if you haven't figured it out, because I didn't, it's essentially that you have a projector with a segment type blueprint, right? Which is what this is. I made a segment thing and then made a blueprint out of it. And you can see it goes all the way down here. And so the theorem is that you have like these welders here, right? Which as the piston extends and goes down, basically from that point, it'll weld all of this up as it's going. And it's behind. Now, granted, I've added the drills. They were actually in the Space Engineers video. They were actually doing an orbital elevator that was going up, so there was nothing in front of it. So I had to kind of modify it slightly, and I'm not sure if it'll work or not. But basically, you've got the drills, and then because they're in front of the welder, we shouldn't run into any problems where something gets welded in front of the drills. I hope. I don't know. I've never really tested this before. I suppose if so, I don't think it will, because even though the welders can go like a 3x3 or something, I'm not sure if it has to be in front of them, but even if it's not, I think the drills will take up enough room that won't be a problem. But basically, you'd weld it up, and then from wherever point the welders start, they're going to continue to weld up this segment. Now I actually have to start this off first, but I was testing the projector, and then essentially when it's fully extended, it'll be down here, right? And then when that part... How did I get stuck? What the heck just happened? How did I get stuck in the drills? It's never happened to me before. Anyway, when it's all the way down there, these will extend and grab hold of the merge blocks down there. And then these will release, because in theory they'll have been connected. They'll release, pull this back, and then these will retract and pull it down. When it pulls it down, then this bottom one would connect to whatever one it can line up with, which I think would be this one. I'm not 100% on that one. Part of the testing part here is figuring out how that's going to work. And then when it does, it would connect to that. It would basically then re-extend and kind of keep leapfrogging. I hope that makes sense. It didn't for me at first, but I'm starting to wrap my head around it, so if you're one of the people like me that isn't quite getting it, I feel your pain. And again, the official one used the timer blocks, so I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just a programmer at heart, so my instinct is to try and write a script for it. But for now, I think I'm going to try and do timer block things and figure it out. The problem with the timer blocks that I see is that the drills make me go slower than if I were doing an orbital elevator like they were doing. And so the problem I see is I'm going to have to actually eyeball and calculate how long does it take for the pistons to fully extend, and then delay the timer blocks by that amount. And that could be trickier than, say, you know, if you're scripting it, you basically just go if all the pistons are fully extended. You know, it's a more accurate type thing. So eventually I'll probably script this, but I wanted to test it out and see if I could get it working. I do apologize in advance because this is kind of a creative let's build episode more than a let's play, but I didn't really have time this week off camera to work on some of this stuff, so it kind of cut into my recording day. I do apologize for that, but hopefully it might help somebody figure out some of the stuff. Now, why I can't weld this, I don't fully know, which is problematic. What I think I'm going to do is extend this piston out, because as long as it has a connection point, although I don't know what the max distance should be. I guess let's try 5 meters. I think that's going to be too far. It should only be like 2 or something. Yeah, that's going to be too far, so 2.5 maybe? And then let's also set the projector for now to only visible, and see if that helps. So let's set this to reverse, and then we'll set this to 2.5. And then reverse it back. Okay. It's not exactly showing it for some reason, which seems weird to me because it should be buildable. Unless that's too close? Maybe it's too close. That's weird. Okay, let's try 2.4. That's still probably too close. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, well now I'm a little confused. Well, okay, I've been confused all day, but now I'm a lot more confused. Because, well, first of all, why is this even yellow? This should be connected to the connector. I actually did delete this at one point, but I thought, oh, well, that's not going to work. Get rid of that. It let me place this back, so I'm not really sure. There it goes. That was weird. So I lowered the projection point a little bit, seeing if maybe the projector was, like, not, oh, maybe that's what it is. Hold up. I'm just looking at the projection here, and it looks like it's just slightly off right here. Actually, it's not here, so... Oh, you know what it is? It's the piston for the drills. Even though I have the inertia tensor and everything set, it's kind of leaning. Okay. So, it's not quite a straight grid then. Okay. Well, I feel like I probably should have used a merge block here then, maybe, instead of a connector. I don't know if that would... we're gonna find out. Hopefully. Nope. Bad idea. Bad idea. Hold on. Okay, so I've tried this a few times, and I cannot seem to get this grid to actually merge, which is really aggravating. We're gonna try from, like, here. And I'm gonna try and put, the merge block maybe like here, because I want to make sure that it's actually attaching to this grid, because I've been having an issue with that for some reason, where it won't actually match up. Okay, it's not even letting me place that. That's annoying. Alright. Alright. Fine. Well, how about if we do a piston? Like that, and then we'll go a little bit lower. Okay. Let's do a couple blocks. And then let's put a merge block here, preferably with the locking point facing the right direction. We'll put that there. And then we'll just extend you. How about that? Okay. Now, can I actually connect these two? See, that's the thing that's bugging me right now, is although they're merged, like these are connected grids, you can see that the actual blocks are not connecting for some reason, and I don't understand why. Okay, okay. So that's having trouble with the weight. What if... That doesn't seem to help. Wait. Did I reverse it? I don't think I reversed it. Have the share on there. Okay, it is kind of coming back up, so that is fine. I can turn that off, set it to reverse, and then what I'm going to do here is... Let's see, how do I want to do this? So what I think we're going to do... I want the merge block off of this non-static grid, right? So that's going to be 1-to-1. So I think what I want to do... I'm not sure... Yeah, we're just going to do it this way. I'm just going to have to cover up that port. I keep thinking I don't want to cover up the connection, but I'm going to... It doesn't really matter, because once this is then connected, it shouldn't matter? Or, hold up, I can do it this way. We'll just put it out here. And that should be the equal spacing if we do it like that. In theory. So now... This is a whole lot of testing. I do somewhat apologize for that it's not really all that productive. It's kind of me just derping around, but I'm trying to really wrap my head around this concept of how it works, and it's kind of frustrating because it's like right in the trailer thing of the game. Like, Space Engineers has this little video running in the background, like, you can do this, and I'm like, how? Okay, what is that? That's new? Huh. Okay. Never had that I've literally never seen a merge block do that before. I don't know what I've done. I'm hoping this is not uncommon for other people. Blocks bounding box would intersect after merge. Status attempting to merge. Obstruction detected. What obstruction, though? It's like it's lined up. Is it this? No? There's literally nothing else touching the grid. It's just these two blocks. What is happening? Okay. Let's try this again. Nope. I don't understand that. What is the problem with the grid? I don't get that at all. I've never had that happen before. I do not understand. I'm gonna risk this because I already have a save of it, so there we go. Whew. Alright, so we can get rid of all that now. Just don't want to get rid of that block. Now, in theory... Okay, now everything's lining up. Okay, good. So, if I place a connector there... Aha! And it's not letting me do... Oh, it needs this. Why is that not connecting? Let's retract it. This is so complicated. Like, it really doesn't feel like it should be this difficult to actually get this working. Okay. So we'll get that going. Now, let's test... Aha! Okay, so the welders did do their part. Okay. So... Now, why are you set the way you are? What are you doing here? I have the minimum distance set. I did set the max distance because when it comes down here, it was sitting kind of a little below where I wanted it to, and I felt like it would cause problems with the merging, kind of like it's doing right now, actually, if I'm being honest. Okay, so, now, here's the thing. Can we do... I don't know if I want to do that or not. Oh! I know what we should do. Okay, connectors. I just had them. There they are. So we do want connectors here. It wouldn't matter, actually. Because once these merge, we'd have access to the materials. I know this isn't creative, but I'm trying to kind of future-proof and make sure that this would all work in reality here. Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. What is the problem? Is it literally that the piston's going too far? I don't understand why it's conflicting. I mean, the seams look perfect. What is the collision that you're detecting? That's so frustrating. And even the connectors can lock. Maybe if I lock the connectors, maybe that'll help. I do have these named a little bit weird because I was working backwards, so the lower of the drill should be the... yeah, I don't understand why the connectors will work and the merge blocks won't. That's so frustrating. And it's probably this. Whatever is causing this, where they're slightly out of alignment, is probably the issue, but I don't know how to solve that because... Well, it's frankly just always been there. What happens if I extend this? I feel like this is going to end badly, but... Will these snap from that distance, or are they going to be all... Really? Really now? Okay, so those work. These don't. That makes sense, right? Jeez, okay. Well, this is interesting. So we're gonna have to unlock this and then reverse this a second to clear that. Then I need to get these connected up here. That's the only way this really works, because I can't... Right. Yep. Totally makes sense. Because, see, the problem is this has to be disconnected or the thing can't go down. But I don't know what this thing's doing up here, because it's freaking out over nothing. It's got to be some minor, tiny little thing that it's doing. And in the background video, it makes it look so easy. Alright, let's set 2.2 as the minimum distance. Let's see if maybe it's pushing it too far in. And it's not letting the merges connect. Nope. I do not understand what it's seeing as an obstruction. See, this is what I don't get. For everything I can tell, and I could be wrong, and I grant you the drills was not part of the equation in the original video on the Space Engineer's background thing. They were doing a space elevator, but the fundamentals are pretty much identical, and I've got a locking point here and here, and these just won't lock. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's really confusing and very frustrating because bounding box would intersect after merge. What bounding box? Everything else is just connectors. Connectors and merge blocks. All that's at, like, stake at the moment. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Huh. I don't... You know what? Let's actually try something weird. Let's take the max distance off. I know that sounds funny, but... Nope. I was gonna say maybe it's not pushing far enough and it's like slipping, but it's not. Well, this makes absolutely no sense. I would have understood it if these didn't connect. Actually, I would have understood it a lot more because these were way off. And these are like perfectly aligned. So this is making zero sense to me. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what to do about this because I thought the idea was working pretty well, but if I can't get this to work, this is the locking point that allows the next part to carry on. So... problem. And I can put blocks back here, so it's just like the grid just doesn't want to play nice for some reason, but it's already there. You know what? I blame the new collision update, actually. That's what I'm gonna say, because those videos have been in the background for a while, and I'm thinking the new collision that allows this to happen, where it's slightly intersecting, is probably the problem, because it's letting it basically collide before it should, or rather further than it should, and then it sees a problem. Huh. That's really odd. Okay. Well, I do apologize for the kind of blundering around version of an episode that we got going on today, but I was hoping I could get all this resolved and figure out how to do the timing and everything, and then work on building it in the survival, but I can't seem to get this thing to work properly. So, I tell you what we're gonna do. I am going to call it quits early for this episode. I know it's not like a half hour, 45 minutes, which is typically what I do, but we're gonna call it. And if you guys can figure out what I'm doing wrong here, or better yet, a way to fix it, I'm all ears. And in the meantime, I'm gonna keep trying to fix it, and hopefully maybe even program something to where we don't have to use the timer blocks, because I really don't like the idea of using those. Mainly just for the limitation of timing instead of just conditional. But I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit of a problem. If I can't figure out how to get this to resolve to where these will lock, we've got a bit of an issue, because I still can't figure out why these would work then. I expected them both to do the same thing, and I don't understand why one's doing it and the other isn't. It just, yeah. And I thought at first it was height, but that would pull this to where this is definitely straight now. Or it should be anyway. Yeah, see, we don't have any seam changes there, which means this grid and this grid is totally fine talking to each other at this point. And so is this one. So this is aligned properly, right? Where even that seam isn't breaking. So these two grids are fine. And if I come off of this one, okay, now there's a separation. Let's try that. Oops. Okay, that's not... Okay, so there is some kind of separation here on the upper part. But the lower part is fine. That doesn't make any sense. Again, it would, except for this. This is merged. And these two grids are fine. Like, those seams aren't messing with anything. I can't make heads or tails out of this. I'm sure some people may recommend, I don't know enough about it, I know that you can mess with this to where the lateral movement is less. I don't really know how to deal with all that. Never messed with it before. This is about as complex as I've gotten in Space Engineers before in terms of piston mechanics and merge blocks. But yeah, if you can figure out what I'm doing wrong here, or have a solution on how to fix it, do let me know. I'm going to keep tinkering with it, although I will admit, if we get to the next episode time frame where I'm supposed to be recording... Yeah, there's the overlap right there. Okay, one little thing, before we wrap up completely, one little thing. Let's reverse this. I had it at 2.3, so let's try 2.25. Because 2.2 wasn't enough, 2.3 was too much. But see, that's not even intersecting now. That's not overlapping, and I cannot figure out why the magnetics in the thing, if the connectors are fine, why wouldn't these be okay? And I'm tempted to try it with just connectors and not merge blocks, but I feel like that's going to end horribly, so I probably won't. But I'm tempted to. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about how I can fix this, and or if I'm just barking up the wrong tree. If you guys are like, this is a terrible design, don't even do this, do it this way, that makes sense too. So, and I may even go back and watch Dragoon Loon's video a second time or something, see if I missed something about the mechanics of how all these work. Because the design isn't the same, but, you know, the leapfrogging of merge blocks and connectors, I think, was kind of the same premise, using timer blocks and things. But anyways, I guess we're going to wrap things up here for today. If oh, I started to say, if we get to next episode and I haven't resolved this, we'll work on something else. I don't know what yet, but I don't want to bore you guys with more designs that fail, so I'll have to work on that in the background. But we're going to wrap things up here for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.